This is the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
I'm Stephen A. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to hour number 2 of the Stephen A. Smith Show. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't betray my friends. Because he's my friend, I'm going to put him on blast with nothing but love and affection. His name is Champ. He's based out of Detroit. He's my brother. I love him dearly. I am about to block him from my cell phone if he sends me one more text about LeBron James. I know of no person on the planet Earth that hates on LeBron James more than this dude. LeBron James can drop 60 with Champ's favorite cologne, with the most gorgeous woman on the planet, giving billions of dollars to charity in the process, and Champ would still find something to complain about with this boy. It's just unreal. It's just unreal. I can't read anything more that he writes. I'm calling him out on national radio because he won't calm down. If LeBron James gave out perfume, Champ would accuse him of passing gas. If he gave away money to charity, Champ would accuse him of stealing. If he sat up there and got on his knees and remarried his lovely wife Savannah in front of millions of people, Champ would swear he don't love her. I mean, I know of nobody that hates on LeBron the way this dude does. I'm about to block him because this guy, first of all, if you are a radio station and you have a basketball show, Sirius XM, NBA TV, you should have a contest about guys who know and love the game of basketball, who are looking for their own show, just a regular Joe Schmo out there. I promise you, Champ would win because he knows more basketball than most people I know. But his objectivity completely leaves when it comes to any and all things LeBron James. He is out of control. I cannot listen to him anymore. I just had to put my boy on blast because it don't matter. LeBron could drop 50. He'll find something wrong with LeBron. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I tell you, it's just not healthy, man. It's just not healthy for people to have that kind of hate for somebody's game. I just don't understand. Yes, LeBron is not MJ. LeBron isn't Kobe the assassin. We get it. We understand. Champ, calm down, bro. Calm down. 866-729-ESPN. That's 866-729-3776. Finally, to your calls. Let's go to Austin in New Jersey. You're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Welcome back, Stephen A. We missed you.
Thanks a lot, bro. I appreciate that. Go ahead.
Two things. First of all, I think that, yes, Durant is definitely showing that he's putting a stamp on that he's coming for LeBron. He might actually be looking so much better than LeBron. And second of all, I want to say that I think at the end of the season, after Golden State beats Cleveland on Friday, I think in the offseason, Cleveland should trade Kevin Love for Paul George. Thank you very much.
Well, listen, if you're the Indiana Pacers, why would you trade Paul George for Kevin Love? Why would you do that? Why would you give up Paul George for Kevin Love? Even though Paul George wants to leave, I got to hold on to him for dear life until I get equitable compensation. Kevin Love is not the answer to that. I'm not doing that. Sorry. Scott, you're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. What's up, Scott?
Hey, first of all, sorry for your loss and praying for your family, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. Go ahead, buddy.
I want to talk about LeBron, and I think we are pretty much on the same level as LeBron. And I respect you being able to balance the criticism and the accolades given to LeBron, but it's a lot of people that are afraid, in my opinion, to criticize LeBron. LeBron last night, of course, LeBron is great. And LeBron played one of the best games. One of the games I've been wanting LeBron to see LeBron play in a while, where he didn't defer in the beginning. He attacked. And then in the end is where he comes up short in my book of being compared to the GOAT. It seems like he defers to the point to where he's afraid that the criticism is going to get stronger. I want to see what your point is on that. And then, two, what Legler said, if LeBron leaves Cleveland again, it better be to Europe and not another NBA team.
Well, listen, I don't know. I mean, listen, I think Cleveland, even though Legler may be right, I think Cleveland has a lot of nerves. You haven't won a championship in 52 years, and LeBron comes back home and delivers on a promise that he made to you while taking you to 3 straight NBA Finals. He owes the city of Cleveland nothing. They owe him everything. A matter of fact, if LeBron left this time around, they should allow him to leave and give him the love and respect that he deserves, because the fact is he has more than fulfilled his promise to this city. And I'm sitting here in Cleveland, and I'm telling you that's exactly what he has done. LeBron James doesn't owe this city anything. Let's be clear about that. If anything, they owe him a strong level of gratitude. He came back, and not only came back, he delivered. He could have chilled in South Beach until his prime was beyond him. He could have chilled in South Beach and found a way to win more, whatever the case may be. He came home. Now he had Kyrie, and he was going to get love, and that's fine. But he still came home. He didn't have to do that. There were other options. But this city was devoid of a championship in any sport since Jim Brown in 1964, and LeBron James delivered. He doesn't owe the city of Cleveland anything. Now, to get to the first point, I do agree with you, however, Scott, that he does seem to be hedging his bets a little bit. I don't like talk about how I'm averaging a triple-double or I'm doing all that I can. It seems like you're throwing other people to the wolves instead of yourself when Kevin Durant is giving it to you. Kevin Durant is averaging 34 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists on 56% shooting from the field and 52.4% from three-point range. Kevin Durant is doing this on LeBron James. That's your man that's doing that. And so you talking about what your numbers are. Look, I'm not going to play that analytical game with LeBron where you're going to put up numbers and history's going to show your stats. If you're going to bring up all those numbers, bring up the fact that you will now have 5 NBA losses on your resume, NBA championship losses on your resume. Bring up the fact that your record will be 17-27 in the NBA Finals. That's a worse record than Michael Jordan. It's a worse record than Kobe Bryant. It's a worse record than Larry Bird. It's a worse record than Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's a fact. So if you're going to bring up numbers, bring up all of those numbers too. Otherwise, just let your game speak for itself. Don't be talking to us about what numbers we should be looking at. We will decide that. You show up when it counts, and don't get outscored 31-11 in the fourth quarter of 3 NBA Finals games against Kevin Durant or by Kevin Durant. I love LeBron. I'm going to miss him when he's gone. This man is a treasure to the NBA on so many levels. But he ain't perfect. And it's not a crime for us to point out imperfections while we're watching you against greatness, because that's how greatness is measured. Anybody could be the tall dude and the big man in the little man's contest. The question is, when you're surrounded by greatness and there's others who can look you eye to eye in terms of that greatness, who rises above the rest? And if you're not doing that, we have a right to point that out without being considered negative. That's how greatness is measured. LeBron and KD is great. But KD's showing up when it counts. And I got to give that respect where it's due.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Stephen A. Smith back in the house right here on ESPN Radio, at least until the NBA Finals expired. I anticipated that would be at least another week and a half. Looks like it might be tomorrow night. I mean, sweep in effect. That's what it's looking like right now in Cleveland, Ohio. Site of Game 4 tomorrow night at Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, where I am, yours truly, here and tomorrow. Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, 866-729-ESPN. That's 866-729-3776. Back to the phones we go. Quasi in Oakland, you're live with Stephen A. What's going on, my brother? How are you?
What's going on, Stephen A., man? I just want to send my condolences out to you and your family, man. I lost my mom cancer 15 years ago, man. It's a hard thing, man. But I just tell you, man, just take it day by day. When you feel like crying, cry, man, and keep smiling. Your mama did a good job, man.
Thanks a lot, my brother. I really appreciate you saying that, man. I really appreciate it.
I got a quick question. I think it's going to go over, but I got a question about the offseason. Do you see, like, other veterans, like, you know, who made enough money to want to come and take, like, what is it, like the mid-level exception or the veteran exception to come play for the Warriors to get rings? Do you see that happening?
You know what? It's possible, but here's the issue. This is the difference between what Oakland had and what LeBron had, okay? In Oakland, you got guys that are going to shoot the ball. So there's like a perfect example is a Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes can play. Matt Barnes is not a scrub, but he's getting no time since Durant returned from the injury because you don't need him. See, with LeBron, guys were going to play, and they were going to get to shoot because LeBron James, his strength is distributing and making others around him better. In terms, not really making others around him better per se, but distributing the basketball, making the right play, getting others involved. Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, they're going to take a vast majority of the shots. You ain't going to shoot the ball too much without them. That's the difference.
Do you think that Kevin Durant is making it seem like this is more of an indictment against Russell Westbrook about how easy he gets the ball versus Russell Westbrook just going?
Well, I think he did that all year long, you know, by going to Golden State and leaving Russell Westbrook to hang and deal with the fallout from that himself. But these finals have not been about that at all. These finals have been about Kevin Durant putting the world on notice. He believes he is better than LeBron. He is coming for that crown. And he's going to take it, not just the crown of a championship, but the crown as the best player in the world. He got tired of hearing all of that about LeBron, and this is what he's doing right now. He's putting on a show, bro. He's putting on a show.
Man, you know how, like, when you see we know a good player play for another team, and you might see a game here and there, but when you see him because I'm out here, and I never knew Durant could play like this, man.
Oh, I knew that. Why you think I was mad? Quasi, let me tell you something. Y'all out there in Oakland, right? Now, see, this is what people don't realize about me. Y'all get on me all the time, but y'all got nothing but love for me, and the feeling's mutual. You know how much love I got for y'all because y'all real. You see what I'm saying? And what did I say from day one? I had a problem, and I will religiously have a problem with Kevin Durant going to Golden State because of his greatness. If he was some average player or worse, I would not have cared. It's the fact that a 73-9 team who went all the way to Game 7 of the NBA Finals gets the second best player on the planet. I don't think it's fair. And as far as I'm concerned, all Kevin Durant has done is proven that. You tell me right now, Quasi, watching what you're watching, tell me one reason that you have to believe that the Warriors ain't winning the title for the next 2 years easy.
I think, you know, Kevin Durant said he'll take a pay cut to keep the core together. And
I'm just saying, but I'm saying injuries, attrition, age, whatever.
Exactly.
Like, Iguodala don't look the same as he looked last year, but what I'm saying to you is this. Right now, tell me one thing you see that would lead you to believe differently than the Warriors going to win the title 3 years in a row, this year and the next 2 years.
Yeah, I agree.
There's nobody even on your level. It's not even on your level. It's not fair. And I'm not going to apologize for wanting fairness, man, and want some damn competition. Kevin Durant, I am not wrong. Kevin Durant has proven my point. That move, why? You know, you just completely stripped balance of power. I mean, there's no competition. There's none. Zero. That's the problem. Oh, by the way, my Quasi, before I let you go, can I read you a number?
Go ahead.
28.7 points per game, 44.8% shooting from the field, 48.4% shooting from three-point range, 9.7 rebounds, 9.7 assists. Who's averaging those numbers?
Kevin Durant.
No, he isn't.
Who is that?
That's Steph Curry.
Wow.
And we're not even talking about him.
Oh, that's illegal.
Do you see what I'm trying to say to you, Quasi? 28.7 points, 44.8% shooting from the field, 48.4% shooting from three-point range, 9.7 rebounds, 9 assists, and we're not even talking about him. He doesn't even matter because of what Kevin Durant's doing.
Hey, Stephen A., you so right. I'm going to go to the store and eat me a box of Crunch Bears just
there we
for
go.
you, man, because
there
you
we
hit
go.
that on the point,
I
man.
mean, are you kidding me? We're not even talking about him. We're not even talking about him because of Kevin Durant. That's how sick this is. Man, please. Man, Oakland, go, man. Go, bye. Bye, Quasi, bye. I mean, what's there to talk about? Y'all kidding me? What's there to talk about? Steph Curry is averaging nearly 29, 10 and 9, and we're not even talking about him. That's how bad Kevin Durant is. What y'all want me to say? And I'm supposed to apologize because I was upset that he went to Golden State, thereby completely altering the balance of power in the entire NBA. They are about to go 16-0, having not lost a postseason game. There's no competition. What do you want me to say? I'm supposed to apologize for how I feel? Y'all kick rocks. Kenny in New Jersey, you live with Stephen A. What's up, man?
How's it going, Stephen A?
I'm all right, man. It's always good to be with y'all. Go ahead, man.
Hey, thank you for coming to work today, and much love and respect to you and yours, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Now, I think the biggest non-factor in this series, and probably the whole season for the Cavaliers, has been Tristan Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
He is not a max contract type of player. I mean, last year LeBron went out.
Stop. I need you to pause for a second, then I'll let you go again. Don't talk about his money, and I'm gonna tell you why you don't talk about his money. The money, don't pay attention to the money on that level, because what you have to remember is that guys were getting a boatload of money because they knew the new collective bargaining agreement was coming down because of the addition of the television money from the networks to the league. So if you sign a $23 billion contract, players are going to get a portion of that. The cap's going to be raised and there's more money to spend. So that $80+ million right now for Tristan Thompson is not exactly bargain basement. But in today's NBA economy, where a Mike Conley, for example, who can play, by the way, but a Mike Conley, for example, Kenny, is getting $153 million playing in Memphis. Come on now. You can't sweat that is what I'm trying to say, because the NBA economy has changed. So don't pay attention to Tristan Thompson's money. Go ahead.
All right, well, I was just saying he's just been a non-factor, and he's just making that kind of money. But ignoring the money fact, I mean, LeBron went out there to try to keep him on the Cavs, and he just hasn't produced at all this year. He's had a handful of good games, and that's about it.
Oh, let me tell you this about Tristan Thompson. I think you're being far too kind. This brother's averaging 2.7 points. I'm going to say it again. 2.7 points. Now, I know everybody, listen, he's been doubled down low. He doesn't have any help. I get all of that. But damn that. To me, this has the Kardashian curse written all over it. I'm thinking about Lamar Odom. I'm thinking about a few cats that have been exposed to the Kardashians. Damn it, they ain't been the same. That's all I'm going to say. They ain't been the same. Not when it counts. Not when it counts. All right? Now, I'm not calling anybody out. God bless them. I'm not rooting against them, wishing anything negatively upon them. But, I mean, ball players who connect with the Kardashians, it usually don't bode well for you. I mean, Darren, I ain't heard. Listen, you're going to find very few people that love Reggie Bush more than me. And I'm sure that Reggie Bush is okay with his wonderful, beautiful wife and all of that other stuff. As a football player, I haven't heard much about him since Kardashian. Have you? Am I missing something? I mean, Kenny, I think that's worth consideration, don't you say? Wouldn't you say? Maybe you do.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it!
Back to the phones we go, talking about the NBA Finals, 866-729-ESPN. That's 866-729-3776. But actually, before I go into that, look, I know LeBron James is averaging 32 points, 12.3 rebounds, 10.3 assists on 55% shooting from the field, 38.9% from three-point range. Sensational numbers until you compare him to Durant, averaging 34, 10, and 6 on 56% shooting and 52.4% shooting, by the way. But look at the numbers that LeBron James is averaging. And then tell me what you think when listening to him right now. Listen to how he sounds. Play that for me, Nuno.
With all the success that he's gotten throughout his career, I've always been proud of him and always excited to see him grow as a player. I don't think that our careers are the same as far as changing teams. You know, their team was already kind of put together, and you just implement a guy that's ready to sacrifice, a great talent, a guy that's willing to do whatever it takes to help the team win. But that team, they knew what they were about, and he just had to come in and just do what he had to do, and that's what he's been doing. For me, when I left here to go to Miami, we had to build something. You know, we brought in, 8 or 9 guys, and we had to build something. And when I came back here, we built something again. But I can definitely appreciate the simple fact of him either reshaping his game or just sacrificing maybe some shots here, sacrificing having the ball in his hands, all the time. Who wouldn't want to sacrifice playing on a Golden State team or a San Antonio team or a Cleveland team when you know the ultimate result can actually compete for a championship?
You see, this is my problem. This is the same LeBron James. And again, let me preface my comments. He's been the greatest in the world. He's on a Mount Rushmore of NBA analysts as far as I'm concerned. He's a humanitarian. He's a role model. He's a phenomenal player. And I'm going to miss him when he's gone, and I love watching him while he's here. I'm not trying to knock LeBron. I'm not even knocking his performance because there's nothing to knock. But when you walk into the finals saying that it's too stressful for you to even talk about the competition, ladies and gentlemen, that's the epitome of a defeatist attitude. Nobody needs to hear that from their leader. If you're going to ask men to go to battle, why ask them if you're already telling them they're going to lose? Unless you going on a suicide mission, which last time I checked, I didn't know this was that. And then you go into the finals and you playing, and you talking about you averaging a triple-double. So you just fine. Giving the impression that I got my numbers, I did my job, nobody can say anything about me. And then you hear what he said, comparing his move to Durant's, which, by the way, he's accurate about. He's not lying. But you say all of that. And here's the part that isn't so accurate. Kevin Durant sacrificed, really. So let's see. You're on Oklahoma City, now you're on Golden State. You were playing with Russell Westbrook, now you're playing with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. You went from Oklahoma City, now you're living in the Bay Area. And oh, by the way, career-wise, you've averaged 37.4 minutes per game. This year, you averaged 4 minutes less, 33.4. That's a sacrifice. I think that's a privilege. You get more doing less. By the way, you averaged 16 or shot 16 and a half times per game this year. Your career average is 18.9. So you've sacrificed 2.5 shots a game. Wow. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Your career 27-point per game scorer. This year you averaged 25. What sacrifice is LeBron talking about? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just missing something. Mike in Denver. Big baby, you're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. How are you? How's your brother, my man?
Man, he's doing fine, but he had a setback. But most important, man, sorry for your loss, man. And he said he's praying for you like I'm doing, man. We really miss you, man. Just want you to just keep your head up, man, and keep doing your thing. We all love you.
Thank you, bro. Love you back, man. I appreciate that. Go ahead.
Hey, man, like we've been talking about this, waiting for it to come. Like I said, man, Kevin Durant on a mission, and he did what he supposed to do, and he did another thing that I know you're glad that he did. Like you kept saying, he just can't ride the coattail of Steph. He had to be the one to do it. And last night, he seized the moment last night.
Listen, man, I got to tell you something right now. He's doing what I said he's got to do to be recognized as a champion. He's the second best player on the planet, and as far as I'm concerned, might be the first when all of this is said and done. And the bottom line is he has delivered. He has stepped up. He's handled his business. But, Mike, it's just made my point. All year long, I've been griping and complaining that I can't believe he made the move to Golden State because I'm about the competition. And he's shredded that, and look what he's doing. It ain't even fair, man. It ain't even fair.
I mean, you called it right, and you called it right. You right most of the time. I mean, that's what I like about you. You ain't scared to voice what you think. And, man, yeah, you called it right. You know, and like I say, it's just amazing, though, how, like you said, the role LeBron taking now. Hey, man, you a champion. You the best player in the world. to me, you know what I'm saying, I'm going with KD now, but he's always been close to him. But, man, stop coming up with them talks you talking. Just don't say nothing.
Yeah, I mean, how you going to go into the finals and go, I can't talk about Golden State. They too stressful.
Exactly.
What the hell is that?
And then last night with that, I ain't never seen no firepower like this in my career. Come on, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you imagine Jordan or Kobe Bryant on the podium saying stuff like that, man? We'll think the world coming to an end.
Wow. Appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot, bro.
I love you, man.
Same here, bro. Talk to you later. Rob in the Bronx, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, Rob?
What's up, Stephen A.? Welcome back, and
Thank you.
Condolences to you and the family.
Thank you so much, man. Go ahead.
A few things, Stephen A. You said nobody's talking about Steph Curry. I can't understand how 6'2" Steph Curry is getting 9 rebounds, and 3 of them are offensive rebounds.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Rebounds like crazy.
That's a good point, man.
Number two, I don't understand how Cleveland, up in the fourth quarter, about 6, 7, 8 points, 3 minutes left. Shot clock management. How you chucking up threes with 17 seconds left on the clock? I don't understand that. You should be driving in.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Kyrie Irving hit 13 of 16 shots and scored 26 points from the paint.
Yeah, Kyrie stepped up.
Here's my question. How the hell you see that if you LeBron James and you ain't attacking the paint?
Exactly. Everyone should have been driving in.
I think Cleveland's only shot is to slow it down. You can't run with these boys. You got to slow this down, man.
Absolutely.
That's what I think they need to do.
Another thing, Steve, should Golden State come in and sweep tomorrow, Kevin Durant's the king. But forget what we say as fans, analysts, and forget what LeBron James even says in front of the cameras. If LeBron James is home and he has this conversation with himself about being the GOAT, here's the perfect time to be the GOAT. You can do something that no other great player in the world has done.
Well, we all know that's not going to happen right now.
I mean, highly unlikely, but if we're going to have this conversation about being the GOAT,
you know why I feel that way?
Right,
you know what I feel? You know why I feel that way? Because I think what Steve Kerr said is very real. LeBron looks exhausted. He looks exhausted as the game wanes. They are running them to death. That is true. That's not hyperbole. That's not an exaggeration. It's really, really true. They are running them to death. That's a real thing going on.
And the Cavs, next year, they better have a brand new bench.
Yeah, well, good luck with that, man.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast. Damn it, I mean it!
Closing out the show with your calls on these NBA finals. Don't you worry. I'm watching what's going on with the New York Jets. I'm watching what's going on with the Los Angeles Chargers and Rams. I'm watching all of that. And, of course, how Giants ownership want Odell Beckham Jr. to be a Giant for life. Yeah, that sounds all nice, fine, and dandy now. Let him get hurt, and let's see how much you want him a Giant for life. Stop your nonsense. Ain't nobody falling for that. Back to the phones we go. Tatiana in New York.
Baby, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How are you?
My deepest condolences to you and your family. Your mother's spirit lives in you, and now she's your guardian angel.
Thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate it.
Definitely. Okay. Don't you ever change? Absolutely not.
Yes, ma'am.
And you and I both know they should have won last night, and they didn't. So if the question ever come up, whoever is the greatest between Jordan and Braun, we know the deal, because Jordan would have never allowed that to happen, and you know that.
Of course I know that. Go ahead.
Love you, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the call. Thank you. Let's go to Darnell. You're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. What's up, man?
Brick, my condolences to you and your family, my brother. Glad you're back.
Thank you, my brother. Go ahead, man.
I have 2 points I'd like for you to respond to. The first one is you brought up LeBron talking about his numbers.
Yes.
The reporter said, "Are you tired, LeBron?" And his answer was, "I'm not tired. I'm averaging a triple-double." Wow. So can you tell me what the issue is about that? He wasn't throwing it up no other way, like saying, "I'm doing my job." She asked him, was he tired?
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting from him listening to the potpourri of things he's saying. You're right on its face if that's all we've heard from him. But going into the series, it's almost like he's been setting us up to say, well, look, man, look at what I'm going up against. Look at all that I got to do. Those kind of things, as opposed to treating it like, the figurative warfare, meaning the world of sports, that it is. That's what I know he's performing. But also we have to take into account, Darnell, that LeBron is the kind of dude that has leaned on his numbers on many, many occasions in the past. He's going to put up his numbers now. And he wants you to recognize those numbers because we live in the world of analytics. But in reality, you and I know the game the way that we do. We understand there's more to it than that. And like, for example, when you start up the series, I know you well enough, Darnell, to know you could not have been okay with him starting out the finals saying, I don't want to talk about the Warriors. They too stressful.
No, he could have worded it differently. He could have said, I'd like to enjoy this moment with D. Will and others.
All right, stop right there. Stop right there, because I never challenge you on stuff like this, but I will right now. You acknowledge that he could have said it differently. That's easy. Now I want to give you the floor real quick to tell me why you think he did that.
I don't think it's because of what these people are saying he's having something to lean back on, man. I look at him as a competitor. Earlier you were saying what champion would say that. I mean, he said some of the stuff that he said.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it to imply that he's not a champion. I'm not saying it to say that he's not competing. I would never accuse LeBron James of that. I'm saying it to say you know better than that. You know better than saying something like that. You're too smart for that. You're too intelligent for that. You're too calculating for that. You know better. And you know that you can't do that, and that's not going to fly. You know that if you LeBron James. And you even have to admit that, Darnell. He knows better than that.
Okay, quickly, let me get my second point. I know
Sure.
you got to go.
Sure.
Tim Legler said earlier he went out of his way to avoid going to the free throw line is what he might have thought. This, along with KD was a baby when he won the title, when LeBron won the title. If it wasn't for Ray Allen, if it wasn't for Draymond Green, Andrew Bogut, and Andre Iguodala getting hurt, this and that, this is why I thought and tried to get in touch with you a couple weeks ago that LeBron had more than KD or Steph pressure or to lose. That was one of the topics on First Take. To me, this is why LeBron had more.
I feel you on that. But KD's move was so egregious in my mind because of the squad he was joining. Like LeBron ain't never been in this situation. LeBron ain't never stacked the deck like this. That's my issue with KD, and that's why I felt that there was more pressure on KD because of the team he was joining, more so than the movie actually, more so than the situation itself. It was the team they actually joined. But we could talk about this a little bit later next week, bro. Thanks a lot,
brother.
All right, take care of yourself. Let's go to Josh. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Josh?
Hey, Stephen A. This is Josh from Kentucky. I know everybody's already been saying that, man, but my prayers with you and your family for your loss. And great to hear you back on the air. Great to see you back in the chair on TV.
Thank you.
My biggest problem is I'm a young guy, but I'm an MJ advocate. I think he's the GOAT. You know, I've been having arguments with people for years about it. And my thing is I hate when I hear people try to make the argument that, like, LeBron is doing this by himself. I've seen the stuff going around social media. You know, Golden State had to go get, 4 All-Stars, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, all this stuff. They act like Wade wasn't averaging,
like Wade was a scrub or Bosh could play. I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
I just want to know if I'm crazy in thinking that people are trying to act like LeBron is carrying it all himself, and it's like he's got what?
Yeah, but I got to run, man, and I appreciate it. But here's the reality: LeBron's the best in the world, and there has been more pressure on him usually than anybody else in history. That is fair. But he also contributed to it himself because he came into the league wearing number 23, and we all know what that means. We all know what you were chasing. Blake, you're live with Stephen A. Real quick, Blake, go.
All right, real quick, Stephen A. I noticed LeBron scored 23 points in the first half. They were still down by 6-7 at half. So he saw better to get all the players involved to keep them close, and obviously they took a lead. So I think his game plan was working, obviously, to the end of it. What's your thoughts?
Well, if you wanted to get others involved, that means you were leaving wiggle room for you to take control in the fourth quarter. And my response to that would be, then why has he gotten outscored 31-11 by KD in the fourth quarter?
The first two games, if you notice, he hasn't played the last 6 minutes of the game because
that's
being
because
blown out.
That's because he was getting blown out. He was also not doing what he was doing in the first half. Because Steve Kerr and those boys are running them out the building. They throwing bodies at him. And you got all of that stuff going on, and that has a lot to do with it. But, again, we could talk about that a little bit more next week, Blake. Or tomorrow. What am I saying next week? There's a game for tomorrow. And I'll be here. It looks like a sweep to me, y'all. I didn't think it would go 7, but I picked it in 7 because I wanted to be a little bit emotional because I was looking for another thriller. I really believed it would be at 6. I never believed LeBron and the Cavs would get swept. But that's what it's looking like. Talk to y'all in 22 hours. Stephen A. Smith signing off. Peace and love.
That's just a sample of what you'll hear on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM Channel 80 and the ESPN app.